crossing the threshold of St. Paul's College is stepping into your future. A bright future indeed. Walk in, not just for learning, but for a holistic formation that happens in the serene setting of a college nestled in a lush green campus.
St. Paul's College is one of the educational undertakings of the Society of St. Paul, an international religious institution that is present in 32 countries across the globe, with over 100 years of history. Here at St. Paul's, we aim at creating professionals for a better tomorrow, ensuring the holistic growth of every student.
Not many colleges can boast of such excellent infrastructure as St. Paul's College has. ICT-enabled classrooms, a well-equipped library, a state-of-the-art professional studio, a new and exceptionally spacious auditorium, modern labs, various sporting facilities,
Hi, I'm Abhiya Babu of First BA. I never knew college life would also be so much of fun. I enjoy taking part in all the cultural events that is organized here, and there are a lot of them. It's wonderful to be part of this family of St. Paul's College.
Physical education goes hand in hand with academics here at St. Paul. Various sports events conducted in the campus give us a platform to showcase our sporting spirit and competitive skills.
What I admire the most about St. Paul's College is their excellent placement assistance. In fact, all of us who attended the campus drive got placed in renowned companies.
I feel proud to be part of the teaching fraternity at St. Paul's College. Here, the pursuit of academic excellence is accompanied by our concerted efforts for the all-round formation of our students who come from diverse cultures and languages. We strive to educe the best in them as they imbibe lasting human values.
rising to greater heights, creating professionals for a better tomorrow. St. Paul's College, Bengaluru.
One hour per day of study in your chosen field is all it takes. 1 hour per day of study will put you at the top of your field within 3 years. Within 5 years, you'll be a national authority, and in 7 years, you can be one of the best people in the world at what you do, quoted Earl Nightingale. A very good evening to everyone present here today. It brings me great pleasure to welcome you all to the 5th and final day of the national level seminar on scope, perspectives, and development in Indian media, hosted by the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication at St. Paul's College, Bangalore. I welcome our patrons for the day, Reverend Father Dr. Thomas M.J., Principal, Reverend Father Dr. Sajid Siriak, Vice Principal, Reverend Father Aroke Swami, Administrator. Our resource person, Mr. Jose J. Maliekal, St. Joseph's College of Communication, Kottayam. Our department faculty members, Professor Jenin Raj S., Dr. Prashant V., Ms. Rima Ann Roy, and Mr. Paulos B., and all dignitaries, academicians, scholars, and students from different universities and colleges across the country. Thank you all for taking time to participate in this fruitful webinar. At the end of the session, we will offer a chat box to source your questions so that we can support you as best as we can on the topic. We also urge you to fill the feedback link that will be shared in the chat box to receive your e-certificates, which you will receive within 7 working days. The focus for today is the future of education, immersive and personalized, AR, VR, and XR. Without further ado, we shall now commence with the session of the evening with Mr. Jose J. Maliekal. Mr. Jose is well versed with creative thinking, virtual reality, augmented reality, immersive learning, visual communication, interaction design, concept design, graphic designing, video editing, 3D animation, and photography. He holds many positions like that of Managing Director, Founder, Ninja's Virtual Reality Private Limited, Assistant Professor, St. Joseph College of Communication, Kottayam, and has worked as an assistant professor at Chetna College of Media and Performing Arts, Thrissur. What's more, he is known to be Google Street View Trusted Photographer 360 degrees. We are extremely thrilled to have you with us today, sir, and are excited to learn from you. We welcome you and now hand over the session to you.
Thank you. Hello everyone. Warm good evening for one and all, and welcome to today's webinar. The future of education, immersive and personalized, AR, VR, and XR. Thank you for your good introduction, and thank you all for taking time out and being here today. And thank you, Rima and Ma'am, for inviting me to this 5-day national level webinar. I'm not trying to deliver a huge technical theory session or terms or even history, just trying to share it in simple form. Even if I am more glamorous than our actor Yash, for distraction, I have placed all videos related to my session as background without audio for keeping a time schedule. You may be not using AR, VR terms in daily life, but actually you are using the technology in each moment, like in the form of FB, Insta filters, its integration in Amazon, Flipkart, Lenskart, other shopping site, etc. Even this Zoom has AR-based filters. Today, we will be looking at the following. Our agenda introduction and why now. Then what is AR, VR, and XR? Some examples and demos. Then what's the future? And a Q&A session. Immersive technologies have the power to engage, enrich learning experience, and increase retention of knowledge and improve understanding. This makes virtual, augmented, and mixed reality experience fantastic tools for education from primary school through the higher education and beyond across a broad range of subjects. From curriculum focused, school college based virtual reality content through a playful augmented reality education apps that can be enjoyed outside the classroom with family and with friends. These are some great lessons to be learned by the inspirational, immersive experiences that are leading the way in innovative approaches in education. Information age gave us practical tools and access to data. But today's tech-enabled generation is starting to favorite content consumption based on how we experienced it. Futurists have long theorized about a coming age where creativity and imagination, I repeat, where creativity and imagination become the primary creators of economic value. We actually live in a world where we are swimming in a hyper-connected sea of data. And we know that power is connected to ability to access and deploy models and digest this information, right? So, how do we navigate this hyper-connected ocean of data in the best possible way? What is care in the world where information is very rich? American Nobel Prize winning economist, sociologist, and computer scientist Herbert Simon once predicted this. A wealth of information creates a poverty of attention. A wealth of information creates a poverty of attention. That's actually happening around us in our daily life. Then moving to why now. We all know in a world driven by technology, classrooms have adapted to an ever-changing landscape to create new educational experiences. Immersive learning is a contemporary learning style that uses technology to engage your senses that a traditional lecture might not be able to accomplish. There are four basic categories of learning styles that most students fall under: visual, auditory, reading, writing, and kinetic. Our classic lectures typically engage auditory and written learning styles with the occasional use of visuals to illustrate a point with the help of PowerPoints, etc. This method works for many different subjects, while other subjects like science could benefit from the inclusion of lab experiments, kinetic elements. In the same way that a photo or video can help students visualize a challenging concept, immersive learning can add new elements to the standardized curriculum and engage the senses. Actually, our students are struggling to process large amount of information at one time. Normally, our college sessions will be 1 hour or 1.5 hours, right? And we know how much time we can engage or our attention time. We cannot actually process large amount of information at one time. In one day, we may be learning 3 or 4 subjects. There's a struggle. They can quickly become disengaged. This arguably applies to all type of learners, whether it's in school setting, college, or workplace training courses, or a lifelong learning. Some people are visual learners, after all, which means the ability to see a process rather than read or hear about it is far more impactful for them. This is where virtual reality, VR, and augmented reality, AR, can add real value to the learning process. These extended realities, XR, technologies can create immersive worlds where students can visualize concept and learn new skills and information in an interactive way. Let's have some definition. What is VR, AR, and XR? Definition of immersive technology. Immersive technology is the integration of virtual content with the physical environment that allows the user to engage naturally with the blended reality. In an immersive experience, the user accepts virtual elements of their environment as part of the whole and become less conscious that those elements are not part of physical reality. Then virtual reality. VR offers students, teachers, and leaders a wealth of rich experimental learning opportunities through its ability to create a digital environment that totally replaces the learner's physical surrounding. VR content is accessed through head-mounted displays, HMDs. Using Google or a helmet. And in front of each eye, a tiny monitor that causes images to appear in 3D. Nowadays, most HMDs, head-mounted displays, include a head tracker that responds a head movement. That is, if you move your head to the left, the images change to make it seem like you are looking at the different part of the virtual reality. And VR is a computer-generated environment that can be experienced from all angles. And we also call 360-degree. 360-degree VR. And also there is 180-degree VR. All these type of contents are available in YouTube. You can check later. Two mediums are typically used for VR. One form is through a computer, where students can click around the digital environment and zoom in any spot they are most interested in. I will show some examples later. Moving to augmented reality. AR is actually much more growing field than VR in the field of technology and in education. With recent researchers showing that using AR in education leads to deeper student engagement. That is what we are lacking now in our traditional education system. Student engagement. But while using AR, we have better learning performance and learning motivation. AR will modify and enhance real life by computer generated sights and sound. For example, point your smartphone's camera at something that an app recognizes to generate a 3D animation or video superimposed over whatever is on your camera screen. Then coming to mixed reality. One augmented reality example video is playing back in my background. MR, mixed reality, is like the AR on steroids, projecting 3D digital content that is spatially aware and responsive. It's the difference, spatially aware and responsive. That's the difference between from the AR and VR. Virtual objects became part of the real world. A ball can bounce off table, wall, or disappear under a couch. MR is far more ambitious than AR as it integrates the digital information into the space around us and allow us to manipulate it as though it was a physical object. All these technologies are not new. VR has been used for decades in the form of flight simulators. That's why the technology is certainly not new. What has changed is that previously expensive, highly specialized, and fixed to one location have now become cheap, available for general use and portable. A notable example in the form of VR is the Street View feature on the Google Map. Luckily, I am also a Google trusted Street View photographer. Let me share you our St. Paul's College website. You can check this link later. It's St. Paul's College 362 images. You can click around the canvas, and if you have HMDs or Googles, you can view in 3D. When I checked, there are many beautiful pictures in this website. The other form is through a special headset that blocks your peripheral vision while projecting video image into each eye, making you feel like you are inside the virtual world. That's the use of that special headset. If you don't have the special headset, you can just even touch and rotate using your fingers or using your sensor in your mobile. The headset actually, or the device, can look like a gaming device or be as simple as creating a cardboard holder to place a smartphone in. Just a second. Let's discuss with some other examples. With VR, field trip could become a lot more accessible and, dare I say, more interesting. Like we are already in COVID-19 situation. After all, in theory, any kind of experience is possible with VR. If you like to have a walk on the moon, no problem. If you love to see some polar bears in Arctic and some selfies with bears, sure, why not? Google, many companies are there, but Google is removing the typical barriers to field trip and creating amazing experiences for students through its Google Expeditions app. Actually, this platform was discontinued on June 30, 2021 and was merged into Google Arts and Culture. Link in the chat box. Formerly Google Art Project is an online platform of high resolution images and videos of artwork and cultural artifacts from partner cultural organizations throughout the world. It utilizes high resolution image technology that enables the viewer to view your partner organizations, collections, galleries, explore the artwork's physical and contextual information. The platform includes advanced search capabilities and education tools designed for teachers to use with their classes. The app offers hundreds of adventures, some using VR and some using AR. You can download the mobile application from Play Store or any other app stores. Spanning history, science, arts, and the natural world. In the VR experience, students embark on an immersive, stimulated experience to destination like the Mount Everest, and this can be done using super cheap Google Cardboard VR headset. Meanwhile, the AR experience bring abstract concept to the life in the classroom. Like, for example, the teacher could project a tornado or beehive into the classroom. Students can get closer. They take a closer look. Whatever you want to learn in your everyday life, extended reality could improve the experiences. AR is a form of technology that allows you to add digital images in the real world. This can be done through apps on AR compatible smartphone, which will let you look through your smartphone's camera lens to view the augmented images on your smartphone screen. Like I said, in your Instagram, Facebook filters, Amazon, Flipkart, shopping apps nowadays use augmented reality for enhancing their purchases. The most notable example of AR use was the 2016's mobile game Pokemon Go. Anyone played that game? Is there anyone? I hope some of you played that game, which allowed the app to access your camera so that you have see the Pokemon creatures in the real world. Because AR is rooted in reality. It can be used in addition to classical teaching styles. Pokemon Go link in the chat box. With AR, students can use their smartphone to see comments or labels on diagrams and have the option to read more about something they need further clarification. Teachers can show their students the solar system in their classroom or 3D models of the object to study up close up without storing and transporting them. We can take public speaking as an example. Award-winning VR provider Virtual Speech. It's a website has created a VR tool to help people practice public speaking in a more immersive, realistic way. Most of us have public speaking problems, right? But with the help of virtual speech, we can improve that. Whether you want to master speaking in front of a large audience, become more confident in networking setting, or simply deliver better pitches and presentation to small audience, virtual speeches via e-learning courses can help. I will share the link. Link in the chat box. After donning a VR headset, remember these can be very inexpensive, from ranging from just 500. You can find yourself in front of a simulated audience. There are a range of audience signs to choose from by using the virtual speech via e-learning course. These are all some examples. The tool can even be used by corporation to train their teams. An impressive 95% of virtual speech users said practicing in VR helped them better prepare for real world situations. You may be thinking, oh, virtual and augmented reality can only be used in gaming and entertainment. That's not right. But my team and I actually work across a number of surprising industries. The COVID-19 pandemic has significantly prompted the adoption of virtual and augmented reality technologies as a business have turned to remote work. You already know that. Many mobile phone companies, other manufacturing companies now launching in virtual platforms by using augmented or virtual reality technologies. Virtual showrooms, another example. We can see a mobile like Oppo. Overall, global spending on AR and VR headset, software, services, including purchases by consumer, rose in 2020 to $12 billion. 12 billion. Up to 50% from 2019. In 2020, 32% of consumers used AR for shopping. The augmented reality and virtual reality market for the retail industry alone is expected to reach $2,094 billion by 2027. Witnessing market growth at the rate of 68.5% in the forecast period of 2020 to 27 or by 2030. All these are now going, and we need not know what's next, right? The future. The future is XR, and we have to know the potential for higher education. Besides its versatility as a virtual, a remote learning tool, XR can provide students with multi-sensory experience that are impossible in the real world. Multi-sensory experience. Using XR, medical students can see the inside of a human head and better understand how an aortic valve works with mixed reality. And impossibility with a hardware. Geology, oceanography, astrophysics classes can use XR to let the students explore inside a volcano, travel miles down into the ocean next to a hydrothermal vent, or beam light years to explore a black hole in a distant galaxy. Let me share one video. All these things I am sharing here is not any type of science fiction. It's all happening right now. You can buy these HoloLens in Microsoft Store. Price range starting from nearly 1.5 lakhs. But it's actually now available in American region only. Educators can also structure XR curricula as games to offer an alternative to more traditional teaching mode. With games, some learners may feel more comfortable failing often and quickly. Gamification, which is a fundamental to learning and not unlike re-spamming in a game to continue to hone their skill. This highlights another benefit of XR in higher education: the ability of students to work their own pace and to repeat lessons and exercise as often as needed. That's not possible in our traditional education system. The ability of students to work at their own pace. Some may be slow learners, some may be fast learners. And with the use of XR, they can actually repeat lessons and exercises as often as needed. Then, with the help of coming up 5G and edge computing, opened the door to XR. Immersive XR experience are poised for wider adoption by higher education institutions due to 5G capabilities and edge computing. XR requires high speed and low latency. That is what we are lacking something behind. Which are hallmarks of 5G network: high speeds and low latency. Edge and cloud computing architectures make it possible to move more efficiently and economically process massive amount of data closer to the end users. XR applications can handle this by splitting processing work between the devices and the cloud. Getting into the conclusion, the future for immersive technology in education, immersive technologies and education are a match made in heaven. We are on the cusp of an exciting new phase in connecting and inspiring students to learn. By giving students the chance to experience new world, explore unreachable places, and provide visual context for abstract concepts, VR, AR, and XR can make learning more playful. Not only playful, impactful. By sparking curiosity and the interactivity with the world around us. And the future depends on you. Thank you. Now we can have a Q&A session.
Thank you
If
so
you have
much.
any doubts, please
Yes.
post in chat box.
If there are any questions, you can post them in the chat box. I will read out the questions. So if there are any questions. Okay, so we have one question. The question is, just how big do you think virtual reality is going to be in the near future?
We cannot just say how big. It will go beyond our imaginations, definitely, in just nearby future.
Okay.
4 to 5 years maximum.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir. There's another question, sir. How do you see Facebook coming with metaverse technology?
That's a good question. I hope you will definitely ask. That's why I missed in my topic. You already know about something called metaverse, right? It's actually a game-changing plan. Many other companies are also coming up with their own metaverse or immersive experiences. Microsoft, NVIDIA, all companies have their own immersive experiences. It will definitely change all traditional system. Now we are chatting using our mobile phone. But by the advancement of the metaverse technology, it will change the mobile phone to the head-mounted displays, HMDs. It will definitely become cheaper and cheaper. Now we can get a HMD with nearly for 40,000. Also, Geo is launched Geo glasses. Apple is going to launch their own Apple glasses. Each company is behind or running.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. We'll just be taking one last question. What are the differences between AR and VR?
Oh, okay. VR uses the real world and the 3D world. But in VR, it's a totally computer generated 3D content. That's the main difference.
All right, sir.
AR uses the real world and the 3D world, while VR uses completely the 3D world.
Right, sir. Thank you so much. We would like to thank you, sir, for introducing us to immersive learning, virtual, augmented, and mixed reality, and how they add meaning to the learning process. We saw a fresh perspective on how students can process information in a better and more interactive manner. We thank you again for all the information that you have given us today. Now, I just request all the participants to switch on their cameras for a group picture. All right. With the pictures being taken, I would like to say that was truly an inspiring and educational session. And now, of course, we have finally reached the end of the 5-day seminar. Throughout the days, we have engaged in various kind of sessions, acquiring knowledge about different dimensions in the field of media, especially in India. On day one, we were taught about the emergence of influence peddlers, celebrity syndrome, press freedom, and more on accountable journalism with Professor K.V. Nagraj. Then we had Professor B.K. Ravi instill in us the importance of content and dawn of media liberation and the relevance of OTT platforms in India today. Day two was all about the importance of practical knowledge in the field of media, where learning is about doing more on field than just restricting ourselves to classroom learning. Day three let us understand that radio is an emerging field, easy to get into if you understand the ideologies and master the art. Mr. Faiz let us know the importance of voice, personality, and the need to analyze both. On day four, we shed light on the history of women in society and how they are portrayed in Indian media, especially with the nuances in stereotyping and the idea of self. Dr. Vagdevi delivered truly an inspiring example of women in series, films, and other platforms such as the OTT with the relevance of their roles. And today, day 5, we had Mr. Jose J. Maliakal helped us imbibe knowledge about how AR will modify and enhance the learning process by motivating students along with helping us understand the importance of virtual, augmented, and mixed reality. Thank you so much, sir, again for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us here today. To everyone else, we hope you enjoyed each session along with taking back knowledge to work towards a more informed decision for the betterment of society. I would now like to call upon Shrishti to deliver the vote of thanks.
It is what we already know that often prevents us from learning, said Claude Bernard. With that, I hope this webinar has opened horizons for us to avoid following malpractices and replacing them with creative and rightful ways to lead a society through true journalism and communication. I'd like to express our heartfelt thanks and gratitude to our guest speaker, Mr. Jose, for enlightening us about the future of education, immersive and personalized AR, VR, and XR. We feel extremely fortunate to have you with us today, sir, and we thank you for taking out time of your busy schedule to conduct this session. I also express my sincere gratitude towards Reverend Father Dr. Thomas M.J., Principal, Reverend Father Dr. Sajid Siriak, Vice Principal, Reverend Father Arokya Swami, Administrator, Professor Jenan Raj S., Dr. Prashant V., Ms. Rima Ann Roy, and Mr. Paulos B. I'd also like to thank the technical team as well as the webinar's valued delegates for their attendance and contribution to making this webinar a big success. We hope to see you again soon for another upcoming seminars to be conducted. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Shrishti. I would like to remind all the participants to fill in the feedback link in the chat box to receive your certificates that will be sent within 7 working days. Have a great evening and thank you.
Thank you all.